So, hello and welcome to another efortraining.com video. We get asked a lot about how do I get a hydraulic qualification. So I'll just run through that now, what you can do to qualify, or more importantly to demonstrate to your team that you're capable of a certain level of work. So we're in the UK. The British Fluid Power Association is our trade associations. There are others around the world. There's the National Fluid Power Association in the States, the International Fluid Power Society, and lots of countries have their own trade associations. And they are the people that set the qualifications, qualification standards, and produce the literature. So the BFPA have got a foundation course, they now call it, and they have a document that lists out everything you should know, everything you need to know to achieve this foundation level, or minimum educational requirements they used to call it, standards. So that's all clearly defined, and each organisation will clearly define it. We've got a course list, so these are all our courses, and you'll see they tie in very closely. This is the BFPA requirements. We've put numbers against them, but the headings tie in generally. So you can see exactly what you need to do from our courses to compare with their qualifications. So again, another one I like is the Seatop Organisation, Seatop Education page with a headline of their site. So what they do, more detailed on their courses, some of you may recognise the H1, H2 and H3 levels, which are commonly quoted, but they split it down by occupation, because clearly if you want to know about basic hydraulics, you need to know at a certain one level. So what a relief valve is, for example. If you start to replace valves with other valves, basic maintenance facilities, you need another level so you can replace the relief valves. But if you get to the stage where you're diagnosing faults, where you're replacing and setting up relief valves, then you get to another level. You really need to know what's inside the valves and how they work. You need to be aware of the dangers and the risks to make sure you're safe to work. So they build it up into the different levels, and that's similar to the way we run our websites. We've got our own levels. I'll show you in a minute. So you come onto a basic page about check valves. So it says what check valves are used for, which is your purchasing side of things, if you just need to know what they do. And as you get more advanced, you move down to the next level, where how do check valves work. So we look inside and see what's actually happening inside the valves, and then coming on to the different types of valves as well, and how the different types work and what they do. So we're gradually getting more advanced, but we do have a basic and an advanced section on all our information. So if you are maintaining it, you know, there are a lot more dangers when you have to be aware of the dangers and everything that's going on if you're going to be changing equipment and working on it. So we provide you with tips from what to do. We don't go in far as designing valves. I mean, if you're designing valves, you need to be another level higher than this, but certainly we cover the information that designers would provide, and the thoughts that they are using to design their valves, so that you're aware of exactly why things are happening. And we go into the detailed design features and how that affects the operating characteristics of valves. So you can see it gets quite complicated then into the higher level, but it's a stage you need to know if you're going to maintain equipment, and how to specify valves, because that's important as well. So if you're building and designing little systems, then you do need to know how to specify them, and more design tips. And so we're going up in level as you go through the text content on our site. So let's come back to our design list. Qualifications. The issue we have is that we've spoken to lots of organisations about giving qualifications from our site, but that's basically not going to happen. There's a lot of time, cost and expense in big training schools and in producing these qualifications. Our approach is to keep prices very low. You can do it free if you use You see the adverts. We get money from people clicking on the adverts, and also selling our lesson plans. If you upgrade, it's not a very high cost, but we're training lots of people, so we're working on a volume stage, so we're never going to be allowed to give qualifications. But what you need to do, I mean, we give a lot of teachers resources, so if you get a multi-user license, you get all our teacher lesson plans, so you can give your own lessons, and then lots of colleges around the world do that and give their students qualifications from being at their colleges. But also, and companies as well do this, use these training documents, because then they've got all the resources here for actually giving the courses. But if you're an individual now and you come online and train yourself online, as long as you keep all the information, you can demonstrate what you know, then that's as good as a qualification. So our approach is to give you all the resources to record and to demonstrate what you've done and how much knowledge you've got, and that becomes your qualification. So we've got the classifications here. So if you can look at whether you're a rookie, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're a manager, what you need to do, that we've got 6 skill classifications that we use. We explain them again down here a little bit. And if you come through to these sections, we give you a number of data sheets to actually work through. So we'll just show you one of the data sheets. So this is a lesson plan. You keep your information on it. It explains what you're trying to do, and we take you through every step of what you need to do, the links to go, or pages to go on to see them. You can click when it's complete. We certainly recommend, some of it's monitored, some of it's not monitored, but we recommend you keep obviously a list of everything you do, and then you've demonstrated the bits you've been through in the course. And this can take you, if you're on a training course, it will take you a week perhaps just to do a basic training course. It's going to take you just as long to learn here. You're not travelling away from home. You can dip into it as and when you get time, but you still have to put the hours in. We put a lot of information on our sites, and you do need to go through it one step at a time. I mean, we're saying here to see the particular sections to look at, but if we come back to our check valve training, you'll do the basic training in text. You've got videos that discuss these things, just highlight any points. Always nice to have talk through things. And then we have an experiment that you can do to understand this. Now this is like having a full test rig. If you're on a training course, you'll spend an afternoon just doing a couple of simple tests. Take your time with these, because there's an awful lot of information in every step of it. Going through it, it's not going to take you 5 minutes to just flash through. And we do give lots of suggested exercise and observations. So go through these one at a time. Follow the things you're asked to do, and practice with the questions. We give you the answer, but think about it. Work these things out. That's how you learn and how you remember it. You remember by doing things and by questioning yourself. As I say, it will take you a while to work through these things and find out exactly what is happening. So let's go back to our worksheets here. So I say we've got some worksheets that gives you a specific to your requirements, but we've also got a course finder. So this is just a little app where you just select what your role is, what things you need to know, and it goes through and gives you a list of data sheets, lesson plans that you should do. A better way is probably to talk to your experienced engineers in your organisation. They'll know what you need to do. Every company is different. It's such a broad subject: fluid power, hydraulics, so many different options, industrial, mobile, marine, that your experienced guys should be able to tell you what courses you need to do and what things, and also monitor you and guide you. That having someone to mentor you is great. That's really what you need, someone more experienced to show you what you need to go through and to check that you've understood fully what's happening. So, say we cover mobile and industrial types of things. If you're another company, we can produce custom courses as well for your specific industry. starting to do that more now. This is a excavator project, so you've got your equipment that you can operate. We can build. These are simulations. They're proper test rigs. It's the same as a test rig, but you can see inside them what's going on. They are complicated. Take your time with them. They really do. You really do need to think about it rather than just flick through and follow things. But through here we can actually build in diagnosis as well. So testing and diagnosis. So this section, I'm just flicking through to see what's happening. So we can actually see what the issues are and actually drag and diagnose yourself. So you can actually decide what you need to do, and you get scores if you get it right or wrong. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but various things. So yeah, so a lot of our applications now have diagnostics. So there's a problem here, you have to solve that problem. You have to find out what's actually happening, and that wasn't right, but it gives you a score. So we're actually monitoring what you're doing. We're monitoring how much of the equipment you're using and what your score might be. At the end of the day, you will have this symbol which takes you to an export module. So if you're using, a lot of companies now use learning management systems. You can get learning record stores. Got links on the site to record all your information. So you put in your email and your keys from the learning record stores. You then post all your results. So today we've just clicked on these things and we've done it for a few seconds. We've got some correct. So it's saving our data from previous things as well, previous attempts. So this then is a record of exactly what you've done and your scores. So it's automatic monitoring of everything that's been done, and it's a great demonstration of the various information. So let me just show you what that might look like. So if you export that to a learning record store, it'll give you a graph like this to show competencies. So it's probably too much information, but you get all this information from a learning record store. We've got a link here on our hydraulic courses section that just show you what the exact information is that we're outputting from our various simulations, because obviously it's different on each one. So all courses need to finish with a quiz. Unfortunately, you need to do a little test at the end. So we've got a selection of quizzes that come in, and you just click through and answer the questions. And I'm just clicking madly here. But so we've got a lot of questions that come through. They range on your different skill levels. And again, once you've done all your quizzes, we've got the learning record store to say what the results are. So we're giving everything you get in a qualification. It's all recorded. I would argue it's better than an in-house qualification, because you forget. Research shows you only remember 10% of what you're taught in a classroom lesson, whereas here you can keep coming back, so you're not doing it all at once. The key things again are the experiments. You need to all our applications have experiments at the end of them on our experiment button, and that we give you lots of things to do. You work through the simulations to do those exercises. Again, it takes a long time, but that's as good as any test rig you get on a hydraulic training course. So we're very confident of the quality of our courses. We can't give you official qualifications as per each country, but that's not so much of a problem if you record all your results. Make sure you keep records in your lesson plans and in additional notes, and keep all your exported data, and you will be able to demonstrate that you have learnt certain aspects of hydraulics. Okay.